Hello everyone. I'm going to be talking a little bit about Lacan and his concepts of other and of the mirror stage. And to start, I'm going to be talking a little bit about the other. So, something that Lacan says is that every time we look into a mirror, we misperceive ourselves as being complete or perfect. And this self-concept, or ego, as he calls it, is never going to match what we are truly in our beings. When a child looks into the mirror to see himself, he'll usually see a smaller and more stable version of himself than what is real. And this idea that he sees, this imago, as Lacan calls it, that he sees, is a concept that the child is going to carry with for the rest of their life. This mirror image that the child sees introduces them to the concept of self, whereas to this point, they have only known of other. Lacan wants to make it clear that self does not mean what is not the other, and other does not mean what is not the self. Instead, he says, self and other are the same. He says that self is the being designated by the word I, and this is created from looking at the other in the mirror. He goes on to say that the self is the misidentification of other, created from looking in the mirror, while other, with a capital O, is the distinguishment between the concept of other and the actual other. For example, the image in the mirror is the other, while the idea that is given to the child from looking into the mirror is called the concept of other. Like Freud, Lacan says that there are two stages in this development, the symbolic stage and the imaginary stage. The symbolic stage is the structure of language that is needed to create the concept of I in the child, while the imaginary stage is used to project the self onto the specular image, or the image that the child sees in the mirror. While Lacan and Freud are similar in saying that these two stages both exist, they are different, as Lacan says that these two stages overlap. Lacan believes that these overlap because having self is expressed in saying I. Again, taking from Freud, Lacan uses the idea of objet petit a, or small other, to describe his theories. Lacan uses this concept as a way to teach a child more about the other. For example, a child could take the small other and throw it away, discarding it, and this will teach the child that the other can disappear. While on the other hand, a child could recall the same other and learn that the other has the ability to return. Overall, this concept is used by Lacan to teach the idea that loss is not always complete and it's not always final in and of itself. Lacan goes on to say that all living beings try to attempt to merge with this idea of other, capital O, as a way to get rid of the separation between self and other, lowercase o. Although every human tries this task is actually impossible. And this leads to the concept of desire, which is the lack of other and the strive to achieve other. All of this is known as the mirror stage or the pre-Oedipal stage. And again, Lacan takes from Freud's teachings in a way to try and explain desire. Freud says that the most important other in a child's life is the mother, and that is why they want to merge with their mother, in that case, sexually. Lacan, on the other hand, says that while the child still wants to merge with their mother, they want the mother to find their other, capital O, and the child works to try and help their mother find their desire, which, again, is impossible. Some key takeaways from this is that everyone wants to get the other, capital O, and get rid of the separation between self and other, lowercase o, but this is impossible. It's also important to mention that there are many similarities and differences between the theories and concepts of Lacan and the theories and concepts of Freud. Lacan also focuses on self-fulfillment and the desire to understand and find one's true self. Thank you all for listening. I hope you found the video informative, and I'm excited to talk to you guys tomorrow in class about it more. Thank you.